We've also got evidence that was provided by the defense, by his lawyers, that one of the members of the Menudo band alleged that he was molested by the father. None of this information has been confirmed. We are not, at this point, ready to say that we either believe or do not believe that information. But we're here to tell you that we have a moral and an ethical obligation to review what is being presented to us and make a determination based on the resentencing side, whether they deserve to be resentenced, even though they were clearly the murderers, because they have been in prison for 35 years, and they have paid back their dues to society, or whether habeas is appropriate if there was evidence that was not presented to the court at that time, and had that evidence been presented, perhaps a jury would have come to a different conclusion. I don't think there's any question in this case that the boys, or the young man, one was 19, the other was 21 at the time, that they murdered their parents. I think that's factual, it's been established. I think the questions that are presented to us, there's two simple questions. One possibility, what is being alleged by his lawyers, not by us, that there was evidence that had that evidence been presented to the jury, the outcome of this case would have been different. And second, under California law, a path to resentencing where a prosecutor can evaluate whether someone has been rehabilitated, and if so, ask the court to determine whether the person should be resentenced. If they get resentenced, there are multiple things that could happen. They could walk out based on what the court decides, or they can have the sentence given a different shape, and perhaps they will stay on, but for a longer period, lesser period of time, or they can have a new trial. Right? Those are all options, and we will evaluate all of it. We have a hearing coming up on November 29th, and until we get there, we're not sure yet which direction this will go. Are there any questions? Oh, by the way, one of the things that I want to add too, is I think it's important that you contextualize what resentencing means. Since I've been in office, we have resentenced over 300 people. Of those, only 4 have reoffended, which is probably one of the lowest recidivism rate of any group that I'm aware of. If you do the math, and I'm here standing because if I was better at math, I would be teaching math or doing something else. It's a very low rate. In fact, if our recidivism rate for all the crimes that we face were to be that low, we would be the safest society in the world. But we're not. So just so you understand also, this concept of resentencing is a concept that we have used successfully many times, and we'll continue to do it as a court. Any questions?
Excuse
me, I got a question. I'll get to all of you. Yes.
Given the cultural shift and how we view sexual assault, do you think that this case would have been handled differently if it was tried today?
Look, because I don't know yet the validity of all the evidence that was presented as opposed to the evidence that was not presented, I'm not here to make judgment of that, but there is no question that today would have been a greater level of sensitivity to the way the case was looked at.
You've had this evidence for over a year now. Why speak out today and now?
Well, there's a combination.
All right. So we're going to step away. It's just becoming a little bit difficult to follow. But all right, they want us to stay in. Let's stay in.
Investigate this very, very carefully. Often we go back and not only we go through all the. Yes, sir.
Other than the November 29th hearing, what's kind of the time frame or the timeline? Do you expect to make a decision after that hearing? And are you leaning towards one way or the other as far as having this? Are we sentencing?
Yeah, I'm not leaning in any direction right now. I'm keeping an open mind. We have people in the office that are looking at this very carefully, very experienced lawyers that are looking at this. That evidence will be presented to me, their recommendation will be presented to me, but the final decision will be mine. Yes, sir.
The habeas petition was filed last year, and I believe your office has been putting 90-day extensions for the hearing. Do you expect that there might be another extension, or is that November 29th hearing, is there going to be
my intent is to be able to put finality to this, but I cannot tell you with any certainty because I still don't know how much work may need to be done. I still can. Yes, ma'am.
Have the prosecutors handling the case given you any advice, and if so, what was that?
Look, I mean, there are differences of opinion. There are differences of opinion within the office, and that is a healthy part of the process, right? You don't want to have everybody agreeing to any one thing. I mean, one of the things that I personally do well is by listening to different opinions and different ways of looking at evidence or looking at a particular case or the law. So there are people in the office that would tell you that this case should never be neither resentenced nor habeas should be granted. There are other people in the office that believe that this should be evaluated carefully and that there may be a process there on the path. I will make the final decision based on all those conversations.
I mean, that said, though, the family has also said that they should be free. Does that?
That's correct. The
sway you
family,
anyway?
my understanding is that the family, by and large, would like them to be released. Yes, ma'am.
Has the increased focus on this case from the public affected your decision to re-examine this case?
Well, look, when I was elected 4 years ago, I came on a very clear platform of looking at our work through a lens of a modern approach to criminal justice. And part of that is not